Hey, I'm glad you joined me today. I'm making paninis. Paninis. It's a great sandwich. And guess what? They come from Italy. Italy, of all places. They're great. The Italians know what they're doing. I'd like to thank everybody in Italy for coming up with the panini. You've had paninis your whole life. You just called it a grilled cheese sandwich. That's it. It's just a pressed sandwich. So today we're going to make one with a little bit of pesto mayo. Ah, yes, pesto mayo. On top of that, we'll put a little bit more basil, a little bit of tomato, and some fresh mozzarella. So what I've done earlier, before you got here, is I went ahead and I made some pesto. Now I make that by putting fresh basil leaves along with pine nuts, garlic, and a little bit of olive oil. And I just blend it in my blender or your food processor, whichever one you want to use. And then to that, I add, because I am on a diet, a little bit of mayo, folks.
Ooh,
some mayo.
yummy.
Oh yeah, so add about a half cup, maybe 3/4 cup of mayo to that, because that, again, this is your spread. You can use this in any sandwich that you make. But let's go ahead and add that, get that going. Yeah, oh well, you know, we're trying to put this together. We're trying to put it together. The blender's cool sometimes it isn't. That's okay. We're just gonna mix it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a food processor man, to tell you the truth. And it's just, you know, whatever. It's okay. It's working, but not that well. All right.
It's beautiful, Jeff.
Does it look okay, Marit?
Yes,
okay.
perfect.
Thank God. I think, and it's gonna. No, most important thing, it's gonna taste good. That's the key. It's gonna taste great. So I've got my pesto mayo here, and then what I'll do is I will take a standard piece of bread. Okay, you can get like a nice hoagie. Get some hoagie, and then you're gonna cut this baby in half. It's got a serrated edge. It's gonna cut this way. Sometimes you buy the hoagies already cut. That's fine too. This one wasn't. So there we are. We're in good shape. And then we'll just get that pesto mayo, baby. Pesto mayo. What more do you need in life? I mean, you could probably live on pesto mayo.
Yes.
Oh, God. It's just so good. The garlic and everything in there. Oh, my gosh. It's wonderful. Pesto mayo. Now, let's line a little bit of tomato and slice these thinly, because that's the best way. And then I've got some fresh mozzarella cheese. Fresh mozzarella. So cut it up. Get the fresh stuff. It comes packed in water. That's how you know you get the good stuff from Italia. So, and actually, it was those Italians, right? It was those Italians that came up with the panini. So here we are. Oh, this is going to be awesome. And then I promised you I'd have a little basil to go on top. So just grab a couple basil leaves for flavor. We got a little basil in that pesto, but this gives us a little bit more. And then right over the top, right? And then that's all you're going to need to do. And by the way, I did want to show you here. This is the mozzarella came in this container packed in water. So if you've seen that in the grocery store, look for that in your gourmet cheese section. Just about all the grocery stores will have fresh mozzarella. So now I told you about the panini maker, right? Don't go out and buy one. You already got one in your house. Let me show you the one I've got in my house. I've got the bottom part right here. I'm going to put something underneath it so it doesn't burn. So we've got this right here. And then the top part, and I got to watch out because it's hot. Be very careful. So I've got my handy dandy oven mitt that I got for my birthday. And you're going to use the top part. This has been sitting on medium heat, okay, for about 5 minutes. It's hot, so be careful. You're going to use that to press it, just like this. So I got my spray. Spray the bottom. Place your hoagie roll, your sandwich that you just made right in, and then grab your cast iron. I'm using a cast iron skillet. Any heavy skillet will do. But make sure you do this. Get the bottom of it, right? Goes right over the top. Oh, yeah. And then just press down, just like this, ladies and gentlemen. Press down. And then put that right back on your heat, or you will probably just keep this on your heat when you're at home. And then that'll just work really nicely. Whoops, got that off to the side a little bit, kind of coming off. That'll work. Okay, and then you'll let that, you don't have to worry about turning it over. It's going to cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, not that long at all. So in the meantime, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our experience. Paninis are made in Italy, as I told you. They're Italian. But the first time we had a panini was in Paris. Marit Cams was there, as well as her son Matt and her daughter Caitlin and our 3 kids. And we were staying in this hotel in the Latin Quarter. And right across the street was a little place that was run by, I like to call them, all right, the 2 guys that I like to call Bird and Paul. Here's a picture of them right now. Bird and Paul. Can you tell why I call them Bird and Paul? Yes, when you're in France, you don't speak French. If you don't speak French, you sort of call things anything you know in American. And I thought one looked a little bit like Paul McCartney. Thought the other one looked a little bit like a very young Larry Bird, formerly the Boston Celtics. And so Nonetheless, these were the gentlemen that gave us our first introduction to paninis. And we went over there and had, what was the type that they had, Mart? They were wonderful.
4 cheese. They had something very similar to this with tomato, mozzarella, and basil. That was a favorite.
And ham and cheese.
Ham and cheese.
Sausage and cheese.
Ham and cheese, sausage and cheese. They called it jambon, I think. Jambon was the term for ham. And that was the first time I actually ordered something in French. I asked for the les 5 fromages. And for those of you that speak French, yes, that means 5 cheeses. And they didn't make a funny face. They just served me one. It was exciting. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Of course, there, you had the whole group gathering there. A lot of people, a lot of the locals went there. That was the fun part. And these 2 guys had like an audience every morning. People stopping by, eating these for breakfast as we did. And it was really kind of funny. They got a little busy one morning. And I think it was Bird handed me a panini that wasn't mine. And all of a sudden a gentleman, a Parisian next to me said, no. Stop, that's mine, So he hands it to him. So he hits me in the shoulder and goes, which was my first, kind of a cool experience with the French. To me, that's what Paris is all about. Wouldn't you agree, Mark? It's the street food.
Right.
It's just having a good time with the street food and a lot of inspiration coming out of there. Crepes, paninis, walking through an open air market and eating olives, whatever it might be. That's what Paris is all about. Okay, I think we're ready now. Yeah, okay. I think we're ready. Look at that, folks. That's looking good. And we're going to put that on a plate. And I've got the man pan here, so I got a nice cool handle, so I'm happy about that. So let's go ahead and, oh yeah, I'm going to turn it over because the other side, yeah, look how nice that looks. And then move my pan back. Cut it in half for my guests. Oh yeah, it looks like the one from, it really does. It looks like the one from Paris.
It takes me back.
It takes us back. Cut it in half. Oh, love it, love it. Folks, you're going to love this so much. I'm going to give this to Marit and Donna to enjoy. Make yourself a panini with the equipment you have at home and enjoy it. maninthekitchen.com website. That's where you'll find all the recipes. And follow us on Twitter and on Facebook as well. And listen to our podcast there. Everything's right there. So we'll look forward to seeing you next time.